Good afternoon, everyone. I am announcer Seun Kim, and I am seeing today's event. The weather is cold and cloudy for today, and it is like hot weather for the outdoor activities. So, in order to meet a lot of people under this weather, we are holding today's event online. Today's event, Recruitment Session for International Studies at Korea Plant Company, is being held in cooperation with the National Institute for International Education and the Korea Plant Industry Association to support employment in the plant field for foreign students currently studying in Korea. In order to increase the participation and accessibility of international students across the country, today's event is being held online. As instructed in advance, you can participate by accessing the channel in your preferred language, either Korean or English. Before starting the event, please let me inform you about the presentation order and program. The first presentation will be given by Director Hye-gi Hong of Beyond Korea on the current status and employment strategies for finding employment at Korean companies as international students. From the second to fourth presentations, major domestic plant companies, including Hyundai E&C, Hyundai Engineering, and DL E&C, will present company introduction and recruitment processes. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat box during the presentation in Korean or English. We'll select the questions and get answers during the Q&A sessions with the moderator as well as the presenters. Now, I would like to invite Director Hye-gi Hong of Beyond Korea to have a presentation of the current status and strategies for employment in domestic companies for international students. Please welcome her with a lot of applause. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Hong Hye-gi from Beyond Career. Today, international students are here with us to hear about how they can get a job in Korea. So I would like to share International Students Domestic Company Employment Project. And I will first start with introduction of Beyond Career and necessity of International Students Domestic Company Employment Project. And also the wage information, visa information, the work information, and major domestic industries and job positions available for employment and employment process and also application process. In 2017, as an HR consultant business, we conducted premium career recruiting with over 250 large domestic companies, and we are recruiting excellent talent in various fields and positions, including information on communications, manufacturing, services, and consumer goods. Starting in 2023, the International Students Domestic Company Employment Project will begin, currently promoting to domestic universities and corporate clients hoping to hire international students. As the population rapidly decreases, the number of graduate students from domestic universities is also rapidly decreasing, and graduates are only seeking jobs with high stability, such as large corporations. So as a result, many domestic companies are experiencing hiring issues due to various reasons, such as size of the company, industry, location, and culture. If you look at the graph on the left, even though there was COVID-19 pandemic era, the number of international students are fastly growing compared to a few years ago, and Korean universities are actively attracting international students. So there are many international students who are hoping to get a job in Korea after their graduation. And if we look at the number of international students by country, there's China, Vietnam, Uzbekistan, Mongolia. And if you look at the international students by university, there's Hanyang University, Kyunghee University, Sungkyunkwan University. And if these students can get a job in Korea, that will provide very good opportunity for both sides. I am sure that most of you are owning D2 visa, and D2 visa is obtained to study for a degree in Korea. And there can be many limitations for attendance. And this is just for studying in Korea. So after you graduate, if you want to stay in Korea additionally, you have to change your visa to stay Korea longer. So you can apply for D10 visa or E7 visa. D10 visa is for job seeker visa. So starting from associate's degree, bachelor's degree, or higher degrees in Korea, you can start from intern in Korea, and permission is granted once in 6-month increments and up to 1 year or 2 years. So you have to manage your D10 visa by managing your points. And if you get a regular job, your visa will automatically change to E7 visa. And if you look at the preferential requirements, also bachelor's degree holder can get E7 visa. So graduate students, if they have no specific issue, they can apply for E7 visa. As for most international students who are here with us today, most holds a bachelor degree or master's bachelor degrees. And as for managers, there are 15 types of jobs, so it can be corporate executives and managers in various fields. So if you don't have any work experience, you are not applied to E7-1 visa. And most international students will be applied to E7-1 visa. So you'll be able to get a job with different types of jobs here. So there won't be any application here. These are status of E7 permitted occupations. Please take a look at this list. And if you need, I can send you the list of permitted occupation for E7. I think you are very much concerned with wages. Wage regulation is there, and minimum guideline is also there, and there is no differences from domestic workers. And as for professional manpower, companies with more than 80% of the GNI per capita of the previous year applies to this sector. And starting from this year, those who plan to work in occupations subject to wage requirement of 80% of the GNI per capita of the previous year and have less than 3 years of work experience in domestic companies. However, most of the time, you will be able to get a job with higher wages than this, so there won't be that much issue here. And here are major domestic industrial sectors. They're mostly information and communication, manufacturing, consumer goods, services. There are large corporations, medium-sized SMEs, startup ventures. I think most of you are from mathematics and engineering and also business department. And if you are from engineering, you will go to information and communication, and if you are majoring business, you may go to marketing or service-related sector. So please be aware of what you want and before you apply for a job. Here is employment process. So some of the processes may be omitted or may be added, and this is overall process of employment in Korea. So it starts from document screening and asks for technicians, skill verification, technology verification will be added, and there will be a practical interview, HR interview, and also interview with executive and representatives. And resume is very important. Writing a resume is the first gateway to employment that can lead to an interview opportunity. So if you want to get a job in Korea, you have to have a Korean resume. But if you apply for projects in abroad, you will need English resume. So you can download resume format or you can apply online, but basically the file format is MS Office or PDF file. So since you are rookie, your resume don't have to be long. The length will be about 2 or 3 pages. That will be good. And it is better to write a structured, concise way. So there are some times when you write one resume and use that in different companies, but when you apply for a different companies, you have to see your resume before you actually apply for it, you actually submit for it. So please take a look before you actually submit your resume. And as for Beyond Career, if you visit our website, you will see detailed information. You will see information about the work visa, or you can get detailed information about how to write a resume. And we are providing our services for free to students, so feel free to visit us. And this is end of presenting Beyond Korea. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for your presentation. It is expected that you will have many questions regarding employment in Korea for international students. The Q&A will focus on the plant sector, which is the main topic of today's event, and will begin those in charge of plant companies that will be presenting next. From now on, Hyundai ENC, Hyundai Engineering, and DL ENC will present the company introduction and recruitment process of major domestic plant companies. From Hyundai ENC, 2 people will give separate presentations on the company introduction and recruitment process. Let's call Manager Kim Hyung-min to come up to the stage for company introduction.
Nice to meet you, everyone. I am Hyung-min Kim from plant business from the Hyundai ENC. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for all the attendees who are participating on this online event out of your busy schedule. So today, before giving you the introduction of our company and our division, I'd like to give you a brief introduction of the business sector of Hyundai ENC. So we have a civil engineering for the road and housings, and we also have a construction division, and also we have a housing division, as well as a plant division, which is for the power generations in the basic chemical industry. So first, I'd like to give you a brief introduction about the plant division of Hyundai ENC. So the motto of Hyundai ENC is a total solution provider. So we would like to provide the right product to the customer in the right time with the best quality. So that's the motto of the plant division. So as a total solution provider, we are making our best efforts to be the best plant division. So here you can see 4 strategies of the plant division of Hyundai ENC, which includes customer basis. And this customer basis strategy is the project working with Aramco and BOC and mega projects. So with those large companies, we are conducting mega projects to stabilize the revenue of our division and drive the growth of our company. So this is one of the major strategy of our plans. And the second division is the development projects. So in the past, like plant division was focusing on the EPC, but we are also doing licensing with EPC and FIT plus EPC. So we are also covering the pre-process or the pre-business of the EPC and also for the post of the EPC. And we are trying to build up those capabilities. And the third strategy is about the energy transition. So for the renewable energy, ammonia, hydrogen, and CCUS, all those newly recent topics are the keen interest of our division. And in order to carry out the related business, we are focusing on those strategies as well. And the last strategy is based on the marketing strategy. So in order to provide the desired product to our customer, we are focusing on marketing business as well. So it's one of the key strategy of our plant division. Here you can see the four business areas of Hyundai E&C's plant division. The first area is gas processing. So this is drilling the pure gas and refine those gas. And the second business sector is refinery. In order to refine the oil to utilize that as a basic element of our product. And the third sector is petrochemicals. So with the refined elements, we try to produce raw materials for the rubbers and the plastics. And fourth business sector is related with the recent energy issue. So the LNG and GTL is also covered by our division. So first, I'd like to talk about gas processing business. As you can see from the picture, it is what we did recently with the Aramco. So it's the ethane deep recovery facility. Hyundai E&C is doing gas processing for a total of 27 projects globally, with a total of value more than like $20 billion US. In the second business sector includes refinery sector. So for refinery business sector, we also did a lot of global projects, which is a total of 23 projects with the contract value of the $15.8 billion US. So we are really a strong player for the refinery sector as well. And the third one is petrochemical business. So for petrochemical business, we also did a lot of global projects, including 29 projects with a total contract value of $23.7 billion US. So this is our major business sector with which takes the biggest share of the total business sectors. And the fourth business sector includes LNG and GTL. And here you can see the picture of the project that we recently completed, which is Kuwait Al Zar LNG import projects. So for this, we completed a lot of constructions. So we can store the natural gas with the amount of the 1 month usage for the 4 households in nearby. So LNG also did a lot of global projects, which is a total of 11 projects with the total contract value of $9 billion US. So on top of key projects or key portfolios that I mentioned, like you can see another like projects that we did. So we did oil tanking projects or the alumina refinery projects and large size pipeline steel plants, and also SK Green Energy program. So all of these projects are included in our portfolio. And lastly, I'd like to talk other business sectors that we are currently doing other than the 4 major sectors that I already introduced. So we have a keen interest in the renewable energy, especially for the hydrogen. So we also do the energy transition in plant businesses. And also, we are using CCUS business. We are making a lot of efforts too. We HIIED's plant division is working in Middle East region, including Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. And recently, we are expanding our market to the Papua New Guinea or the South Pacific area. And we are focusing on on that market expansion activities. And recently, we are working with SOL for the Shaheen project. We successfully received this order. And also, we made an order for the Saudi Arabia Emerald Mixed Feed Crackers. So we are currently focusing on building capability for those large projects. And next, I would like to talk about the recruitment process of Hyundai ENC. Thank you for the great information about the introduction of the Hyundai ENC. So next, we would like to hear the recruitment process of Hyundai ENC from the manager Kwang Jae-jung. Nice to meet you. I am the manager Kwang Jae-jung, and I'm in charge of the recruitment and employment at Hyundai ENC. So we are having a lot of participants from different backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, from the students to the graduates. So we have a lot of attendees who has a keen interest in the plant divisions, and I'd like to thank you for your participation in today's event. I believe you have different majors. So you may have interest not only in the plant division, but the general process of the recruitment process of Hyundai ENC. But today's topic is for the plant company, so I'd like to focus on the recruitment process for plant division first. And also give you further information, like for students who has different majors can apply for the recruitment for Hyundai ENC. So here you can see different fields for the international students for recruitment. I believe you have a brief introduction or the introduction about this process or the fields, but I'd like to give you more practical information that we have demands. So we do not limit the scope for international students. But I thought that it would be better to focus on the practical job positions that you can really apply for. So I like to focus on those job positions for today. So first, we are recruiting international students for procurement quality control, which is in charge of the reviewing of material requisition and project specifications and the vendor quality documents and inspection coordination as well. So first, I'd like to talk about procurement quality control. So when you're doing a lot of projects or the contracts, we need a lot of resources to use. So this literally controls the quality of the resources that we are supplying. So based on the major, it can be related with the instrumental or the chemicals or other mechanicals. So for those resources, this job position will be in charge of the quality control. So the related major includes mechanical, chemical engineering, or the electronic engineering. So they will do the quality control for the machines or the pipelines. And the electronic engineering will be in charge of the electricity and quality control or the electronic devices. So to be more detailed, so they will see if the resources or the suppliers can meet the international standards when we are doing the constructions, as well as the documentation standards as well. And also with that, they'll do the test of the production and see the result. And also, the procurement quality control will adjust the timeline for whole projects. Since we have a lot of global projects, in-depth knowledge of one's major is important. However, English is the most important element to be qualified. And the next job position I'd like to introduce is bidding. So the bidding position will support the whole process for the contract. So they will assist the end-to-end bid process.
입찰에서 주도적 업무를 수행하는 직무로서
So the bidding position will carry out the major roles to win the bid, including the budget, resources, and timelines. So they need to cooperate with other different sectors and the departments for the bid until the final selection. So actually, for bidding, the major is not that important. So all those who majored in engineering, any engineering sectors can apply for the bidding position.
이것도 마찬가지로 사실
So likewise,
공학계열이라 적어는 않지만
so I just described that the related major is engineering, but
직원분들께서 대체로 입찰 업무를 수행하고 계시고
currently mechanical engineering or the chemical engineering major students are currently working for bidding.
아래에 나와 있는
But for the civil and engineering
수행을 하고
major students, they are working for the estimation position.
견적 업무는
So estimation position
입찰
is to review
업무를 수행합니다.
the bid quotes.
이에 대한
So they'll review the ITB, which is the invitation bid, and they will calculate the construction costs and the other related costs for bidding. So likewise, like the domestic students, the related major includes mechanical engineering, chemical, electrical engineering, as well as the electronic engineering. So all those different majors will be in charge of the quotation or the estimation for the related suppliers or supplies or the resources.
직원들이 많이 있고요.
So I didn't write down on this slide, but currently Korean students are working for estimation position, but we believe there will be demands for the international students. So this can be the potential position that you can apply for. So not all the newly employed are working for the headquarters, but if there's a project, they can work in the global project at the foreign countries.
예, 그다음에는 이제 리크루트 프로세스 어떻게
So here I'd like to talk about the recruit processes, the order of the application and the recruitment.
시험 공고를
So at the moment, there's no separate official information or the notification for the employment yet. So you may wonder how you apply for the recruitments. So you can send your CV or resume to our email with a free format. So please specify your educational background as well as the career history and the visa status on the resume. Then you can send your resume to the email address which is written on the slide. So the first email is my own email, and the following email started with the kim.js@hdec.co.kr. And actually, Kim JS is in charge of the international students' employment.
이러한 이력서를 돕게
So if you do not have the same majors or you are not studying the related majors, if there is a new spot that employee staff can recommend you, so I think it would be better to send your resume to the HR department.
하고 그러한 자리
So regardless of your major, please send your resume to the email addresses below. Then I think we can proceed on the recruitment process if there's any needs.
채용 절차에 대해서 간략하게만
So I'd like to give you a brief introduction of the recruitment process. So if you submit your CV or resume to the email that was written on the previous slide, then we will review your resume and CV by the related division or departments. And if you are considered as a qualified employee for the Hyundai ENC,
이제 면접을 요청을
we will ask for an interview.
요청을 하는데 이제 면접 같은 경우에는 이제 대면
And for interview, it will be held online, not in person.
화상 면접 결과
So based on the online interview,
충분히 그러한 자격이 있다고
if you
하는 경우
are judged as qualified candidates, then we'll go through the negotiations on the payrolls and welfare.
인사실 담당자와
And for the negotiation process,
두 분이서 이제
so HR departments and the candidate will discuss and decide the final salary and welfare.
최종적으로 결의를
And if everything is agreed between two,
입사 일자를 정하고
then the date of the entering will be decided, and the new employee can join the company. So this is a brief introduction of the recruitment process. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thank you for the great presentation with a lot of information. So we had a lot of questions during the presentations, and I'd like to select some of them to add to the presenters. So the first question goes for what level of Korean language proficiency and understanding is required to work in the plant field? For example, what level should I get of the test of proficiency in Korean topic? So currently, Hyundai ENC has a lot of international employees, and some of them do not speak Korean at all. So actually, the result or the level of the topic test is not the major factor for the employment. But if you are proficient or good at Korean, we can consider you are a good candidate for adaptation. So we can give you more points. But this is not a critical factor for employment, because we are carrying a lot of global projects. So instead of Korean, English is much more important. Thank you for a great answer. So the second question goes for is that there's a student who is curious whether there's a separate recruitment process for foreigners for master's and doctorate degrees, or whether there's any preferential treatments if a master's or doctorate candidate apply for a bachelor's degree recruitments. So we do not open a separate position for the master's or doctorate degrees. However, we are reviewing career histories or any other educational background. Therefore, it can be preferred negotiation factor for the negotiation process for welfare or the payrolls. So we do not have a separate recruitment process for foreigners with master's or doctorate degrees. So this can be a good bonus, but please understand that there's no separate recruitment process. Thank you for the answer. So I'd like to say thank you for the manager Kwang Jae-jung for the brief, for the great introduction. So now I'd like to invite the next presenter.
Next, Hyundai Engineer Manager Anel Hasanova will introduce the company and present the recruitment process. Hello, I am Anel Hasanova from Hyundai Engineering. First of all, thank you so much for participating in today's recruit employment session. And there may be some of you who know about Hyundai Engineering, but I know that some of you do not know about Hyundai Engineering. So today I will talk about Hyundai Engineering for 20 minutes and what you should do, what you should follow, the process of employment process afterwards. Before we start, I think you might want to know, so I will introduce me first. My name is Anel Hasanova, and I'm from Kazakhstan. And like you do, I studied in Korea. So to be more precise, I did my master's degree in global economy and strategy, and I am now working as HR manager in Hyundai Engineering starting from last year. I will introduce about Hyundai Engineering. Since its foundation in 1974, Hyundai Engineering has grown into a global engineering company that represents Korea on the world stage. And in 2011, it had become Hyundai Motors Group, and we are now we have a global engineering company, ego. So we are a global company. So currently there are many foreigners who are working in Hyundai Engineering, and among that, In headquarters, there are 80 people, 80 foreigners working in HQ. And there are also foreign employees who are working in global branch. In order to help you understand Hyundai Engineering, let's take a look at a video clip.
Hyundai Engineering has become a driving force for mankind to enjoy a better life. We have paved the way for new paths in harsh environments, leading the remarkable development of global industry. We have created a space for everyone to share, to build a prosperous life for mankind. We have researched new resources, advancing the era of clean energy that coexists with nature. For a more valuable life and a sustainable tomorrow, Hyundai Engineering is constantly innovating. Hyundai Engineering has grown into a leading company in Korea by providing comprehensive engineering solutions in various fields, based on its fundamental competitiveness in initial planning to detailed engineering. Most crucial to this growth is the technological capabilities that stand at the core of Hyundai Engineering. Hyundai Engineering has built up its own technological capabilities and is now enhancing its potential even further through integration with the most advanced smart technologies. By converting our accumulated knowledge into data, we are responding to the fourth industrial revolution and taking on challenges in a more creative way. Likewise, we have been able to provide the best quality and productivity by integrating the most advanced smart technologies, and are working to make construction sites more safe while applying automated construction technologies. In addition, Hyundai Engineering provides a one-stop premium asset solution through customized asset management and high-quality facility management services. Hyundai Engineering is once again stepping up to the challenge. To take one step further into a sustainable future, we're starting over. With its history of passion and taking on challenges, Hyundai Engineering is leading the era of eco-friendly, with green energy technology and resource circulation solutions for recycling waste. Hyundai Engineering has become a global green energy company. We will not back down from the grand challenge of opening up a better tomorrow with innovative engineering technology, just as we have been constantly striving to create the life we enjoy today. Global Premier Engineering Partner.
Did you watch the video? Did you enjoy it? And let's move on to the introduction of business division briefly. Hyundai Engineering Division is divided into 4 categories. First, there is Plant Division. For the last 40 years, based on its experience, Hyundai Engineering conducts various plants projects including oil and gas, petrochemical, LNG, nuclear power, eco-friendly, and renewable energy. Next, we have building projects, construction project. Construction project includes commercial building, medical building, and also residential building. And we are expanded into huge category for business. Next is asset management. Asset management includes facility management, property management, and also real estate consulting services. Additionally, we also have eco-friendly energy division, and we are actively investing in research and developing, and we are expanding our business portfolio. I have introduced about the company of Hyundai Engineering and also the projects that we are implementing. And next, I will explain the benefit system of Hyundai Engineering. The working hour of Hyundai Engineering is a flexible working hour, so it is very stable, and most of the time the HO working hour started from 8 o'clock and it finished at 17 o'clock, and now we can flexibly change our schedule with our convenience. Additionally, we are continuously hiring international workers, and there are benefits that are provided to foreign employees only, such as air ticket, accommodation, visa issuance. They're all provided by the company. So in order to attract overseas talents, we are hiring experts like this. So we would like to have experts with you, experts who understand the whole and cooperate. We want a bold talent, and we want a professional who are doing their best, and we also want talent who steps up first. As I have said, we are still continuing to hire foreign workers, and these are the pathway and channels that we recruit foreign employees. Hyundai Engineering is implementing its hiring into two different channels. First is open recruitment. So we apply the same standard as Korean employees, and we also have experienced worker hiring process. So we are separately hiring foreign employees in this channel. So we apply different standards for different channels, but the process and steps of the employment is all the same. This is the application process. I will explain you one by one. First, we get application from the candidates and we perform document review. And then we perform aptitude test. And also we have application registered, and after the review is done, we execute interview. And then we also have interviews. As for experienced workers, we only have aptitude test and interviews only. Aptitude test is a test to test your personality. And if you pass the aptitude test, there will be interviews. So there will be first interview and second interview. So at the first interview, you will be reviewed with your aptitude result and your personality result. And then after you pass the first interview, you go to the representative and board member interview. And in that interview, you will also be tested with your English skills. As for experienced workers, you won't be tested with a SBA test. And after the whole process is finished, there will be medical checkup, and then there will be visa issuance and final employment. As you can see, there are foreign workers working in Hyundai Engineering, and these are our official SNS accounts. So if you have any question, please feel free to look around. And thank you so much for listening. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. for your presentation. There were some questions while you are presenting, and this is the first question. The presenter is a foreigner who got a job at a Korean engineering company. I want to know whether the hiring process was conducted through open recruitment or other method. As I have said, I graduated with my MA last year, and I was hired as experienced worker with the open recruitment. So I was hired, and now I am working in HR division. Okay, thank you for your answer. Let's move on to the second answer. As a foreigner job seeker, what is the most important thing to prepare for getting a job at a Korean company? From an experienced person's point of view, please give us some tips on how to find a job. I think you have to know the sector you want to apply for and the company you want to apply for. You have to understand that company in detail. We always say this. We always say do your homework before you apply for a job. So before you apply, please understand what the company is working for and the vision of that company. That would be very helpful when you prepare your employment. And in Korea, the competitiveness is very high. So you have to be good at speaking Korean and also in English. Thank you so much for your information. I think you can share your experience. As a foreign employee, can you share us working life in Korea? Okay. We are engineering company, so we hire experts. So Korean skill is not a required skill. So we hire experts that are good at their job, and if they are good at their job and if they speak Korean also, then they will be able to work in not just in engineering company but any companies in Korea. You will be able to understand the nuance if you know Korean, so please learn Korean before you come to Korea. Thank you so much for your detailed information. This is the last question. So is it possible for the employees to get deployed in the home country of the employee or other countries? Hyundai Engineering has many different projects around the world, and if you want to apply for Poland, because you're from Poland, there are 2 plants in Poland. And if you apply for that position, you may have chance to work at your home country. Thank you so much for sharing us valuable information. Thank you so much for your presentation, and let's move on to the next speaker.
So this will be the last presentation for today's event. And Manager Karam Lee of DLE and CIS will give a presentation on the company introduction and recruitment process. Hello, nice to meet you, everyone. I am Karam Lee, which is in charge of the HR department. And thank you for waiting a long time. And first, I'd like to ask for your understanding. So actually, we made a late decision of the participation to today's event. So the presentation materials is written in Korean. So first, I'd like to introduce DLENC. And we changed our name in 2021. So we have about 5,500 employees. So here you can see DLENC with numbers. We are the first construction company in Korea as a construction company. And we also did the first overseas construction of Vietnam Port Authority. It was the first construction company to acquire foreign currency. And we are the oldest construction company here in Korea with more than 84 years of history. And we are also the only construction company selected as one of the top 100 Korean companies since 1955. And here you can see the financial construction of the DLNC. And actually, we are having very stable business model to pursue. So here you can see a very healthy financial status of DLNC. So this is the chart of the DLNC headquarters and its subsidiaries. So here you can see some the subsidiaries with the stars, so which includes DLNC, DN Chemical, and Carbonco, and DL Energy, which is in charge of the power generations and others. So here you can see that DLNC plant division is the core to create the synergy under the DL group. So, in general, we have plant, civil, and housing business sectors under DLENC. So here I'd like to show a short video clip that introduces DLENC. In 1973, Saudi refined poly installation as the Korea's first exports. And also we entered Iran for the first time in Korea as well as Africa. So we are the first construction company and entered the overseas plant market and quickly dominate the market. We are DLENC. So in more than 30 countries, we demonstrated our technological prowess. And DLENC plant technology is recognized globally. And we're receiving a lot of love calls from many business owners. How was this possible? So I'll explain it from three perspectives. 50 years of skilled experience. Starting with datum engineering in 1974, DLENC has been leading the plant industry in Korea to these days. Experience with over 600 plants in various fields, including oil refining, gas, petroleum, chemicals, and power generations. All data from projects conducted are divided into industry, country, and design codes. And the second element is synergy with petrochemical companies with DLCNC. So DLENC has been with the petrochemical field called DL Chemical for a long time. So DLENC is responsible for the construction of the plant, while DL Chemical engineers are in charge of commissioning. So construction capability responsible for smooth operation or special strength that other companies cannot have. And we are also providing a total service from end-to-end services. So currently we're carrying out a new expansion project together with DL Chemicals, and through the synergy effect between two companies, we're seeking to develop global markets. And DLENC is the first company in Korea to apply advanced project management methods, including BIM and AWP. So BIM automate design work can provide error-free, optimized design and improve productivity of EPC work and provides high-quality product to business owners. So we subdivide the entire process and integrate standardized platform and systematically and efficiently manage constructions. And also, we continue to develop new technologies to further increase our competitiveness. Know-how accumulated from the past, synergy that continues to the present, and cutting-edge technology that will take us into the future. This is the reason why we are the best in the world. So this was a short video that introduced our division. So plant division is one that pioneered the overseas plant market for the first time, including America, China, Russia, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Australia. So we conducted more than 600 projects in more than 30 over countries. As I just introduced, we have abundant projects in global markets, and here you can see the representative project for our portfolio. So we have a lot of good labels, including for the first time in the world or the largest in the world. So for Saudi Arabia and Southeast Asia and in Korea, we conducted a lot of plant projects for the first time or as the largest project.
저희 회사의 목표는 글로벌
Our goal is to be the global top tier
사업 타당성
company. So in order to do so, we also do the feasibility tests and planning, feed, and everything. So we are building related capabilities.
리파이너리나 페트롤
So the refinery, petrochemical, or the power plant, which were our past strength, we are expanding our advantages as well to the small modules or the carbon capture or the bioplastics. So we are trying to pioneer the market for the new business with various projects.
왜 플랜트 산업
Then why plant division? So I have thought about this. So for me,
하던 사람은 아니었고
actually, I was not an HR department major, so I was majored in engineering. So I worked for design and planning for more than 10 years. Then I moved to the department, to the HR departments. So based on my own experiences as well as ideas for my colleagues, here you can see the reasons why we should go for the plant division. So a lot of people are talking about AI, but still the plant division is a job for the knowledge workers. So based on the experiences and the capabilities accumulated through project execution,
자신의 자산이 된다는
engineers can make it as their own assets and they can work for the plant division. And I think this is really a charm to work in a plant division. Then why plant division at DLENC?
건설업계에서
So actually, DLENC is nicknamed as a construction academy
저희가 플랜트
because
경험이 워낙 오래되다 보니까
we have a long history of the plant projects. So we have very rich experiences and know-hows for the related projects and related businesses. So the newly employees
사관학교라고 할 수가 없죠. 저희
can learn well
자체가
to be the construction economy. So our organizational culture allow newly employees to learn the new accumulated know-hows.
건설 사관학교라는
So that's why people call us construction academy.
그리고 세 번째는
And next,
앞서 말씀드렸다시피
as I already told you,
말하던 정유 석유화학 발전
we are making a step toward future growth. So we are not being complacent with our own strength, but we try to do better in the new fields as well, including the new business fields like hydrogen and bioplastic. And I believe this kind of elements make us more attractive.
저희
And here,
신입사원 육성 프로세스를
you can see a growth program for the Korean employees. But I believe this will apply same to the international employees as well. So when you join the LNC, then you will get a first training for about a month. Then for about a year as a JT, each team will provide you training for the work. And also we are providing one-to-one mentoring
업무를 가르쳐드리고요.
to teach you about the work in detail. And recently, we are carrying out hackathon events and hackathon program to develop the problem-solving skills of our employees. So if you win these hackathon events, then you can have a chance to visit foreign countries. So with the year 2 at the company, you can be a real expert to work in your field.
회사에서 제공하고 있는
So here you can see a brief introduction of the benefits that we're providing.
벤처들에서 제공하는
And I believe it is a par with other Korean major companies.
복지제도가
For the family welfares or the livelihood welfares like health managements, education, and other welfare supports. So we're providing a very well-structured welfares to our employees.
이거는 저희 이번에 진행했던 신입사원
So here you can see the previous employee recruitment that we did this year. So we did not confirm the recruitment for the international students yet. So please take this as a reference. So after finishing the application process, we do the AI test. And based on that, we are getting competency descriptions. So this is not a big task. So this is kind of like self-essay to explain what kind of challenges you have overcome and your biggest trials or challenges you have experienced. So after reviewing all the documents, we do the first interview and physical examination before finalizing the employment. And here you can see a table of the job positions that we hired new employees. And I believe for international students, we will also recruit new employees for similar fields, including design, construction, engineering as well. So if you are majored in engineering, I believe there will be a number of positions that you can apply for. And on top of that, we are also considering procurement position for international students as well. So this concludes my presentation. So I'd like to briefly introduce why we participate in this event. The regional linguistic skills of the international students are what we are seeking for. We want to utilize your linguistic skills because we can teach you technical elements. So we want to create a win-win relationship with you. So you can develop your expertise and we can utilize your linguistic skills. So that's why we decided to join this event. So personally, for Plant Division, cooperation between number of teams are critical. So what is the most important is adaptation to the organization culture and how much you care others. So I believe those two elements are most important for employment. So this concludes my presentation. I'd like to have your questions. Thank you very much for the fruitful presentations. Now we'd like to have a Q&A session for DLENC. So the first question is preferential treatment such as certifications or certificates for employment at plant companies. So we do not require any certifications or certificates as preferential factors. If it is not directly related with the position or the work, we do not consider any certificates as better than other candidates because you need to learn the task as a beginner when you join the company. So we do not provide preferential treatment for those who has a certificates. And the second question is, compared to Korean engineers, can international students have same level of welfare and treatment, especially for the salaries? So actually, we didn't complete the review for the recruitment of international students, so we cannot give you the clear answer. But currently, we have 60 experienced international employees at DLENC at the moment. And they are receiving the same level of the welfare as well as salaries. Thank you for the answers. So this will be the last question. So IGCS or any other linguistic certificate can be beneficial or the preferred during the recruitment processes. So if you're fluent or the proficient in English, I believe there will be a plus points. But it depends on the departments or the sectors. But for certain sectors, actually, even a basic level of English would be enough. But if you have advantage with the local language, I think it will be more preferential or beneficial to the recruitment. And also, if you are proficient or fluent in Korean, there will be the plus point for the recruitment with the interview. Thank you for the great answers. And once again, I'd like to say thank you for all the presenters for great presentations. Here, we'd like to conclude the full presentation.
This concludes all presentations scheduled for today. I hope that today's event will be some help to international students studying in Korea in their career planning and job search activities. We also sent a satisfaction survey regarding today's event to attendees' email. For a better next event, please be sure to participate in the survey. Lastly, I would like to conclude by thanking the presenters for today's presentation and all attendees who participated for a long duration. Thank you.